I'm confused. I don't know how to talk about movies in the daylight.
I know, right?
You're gonna have to carry this whole thing.
All right.
While
Well,
I go
welcome
in the
to.
back and take a nap.
All right. Well, welcome to Midnight Reviews, midnight screenings.
Oh, even when we review it at night, it's been quote midnight reviews for like the past 8 of 10 years that we've been doing this. I kind of like this theme we got going on lately, though, where we're watching movies where it's a sequel, but you haven't seen the first one.
Yeah, right.
Two today, because we watched Rock Dog 2 earlier.
Rock Dog 2.
Yeah, we'll be putting that one up later.
Man.
And what else? Well, I guess kind of Assassin 33 AD versus Black Easter.
Yeah.
Black Easter that we did.
Yeah.
So there's a sequel.
And coming up.
Oh, yeah, and Boss Baby 2. Oh, yeah.
No, coming up,
Purge.
we're also going to see The Purge, and I've only seen like 2 of those movies, but whatever.
Well, I guess that's more than Assassin 33 AD and Boss Baby and whatever's coming out next week, which will probably also be a sequel. I actually liked the first one. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was in kind of a small boat on that one. But there was low expectations I had going into the first movie, which I think most people who saw the first movie probably had some low expectations going into it, unless you're a kid. And then I saw it and was like, well, this movie's a lot more bizarre and weirder, and it's got a lot more ideas than the trailer let on. Mm-hmm. The first one was kind of cool, with the first couple of acts in it was more like it's about this unreliable narrator kid who's telling the story about when he got a baby brother, and there's all this fantastical stuff going on, so you're not really sure through a lot of it if this actually happened or if this is just a story he's telling his kids.
Oh, really?
And adding a lot of fantasy elements to it. The third act kind of dropped that a little, but I was surprised by the movie. And this one, even though I liked the first one, I had low expectations going into this movie.
Right, yeah,
because I mean, it's a sequel, and usually how it goes is a movie will come out, it'll be surprising, and then a sequel will come out, and it'll be like, well, this is kind of bad, like I thought the first movie would be bad. Except I did still kind of like this movie.
Yeah, same. It charmed me. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. It was cute, and it wasn't like pretentious or pandering or anything. It was just damn. And I'll tell you, just before coming out here to review this, I didn't know this was DreamWorks. Had I known this was DreamWorks,
they got a pretty good track record.
I voted in your poll.
Oh, right. Thank you for bringing that up. I did put a poll up there earlier. Hang on. Let me take a look. It was, I can tell you, without even looking at it, I can tell you that the poll that we put up over on YouTube about what grade we would give this, I'm already saying, like, F is probably winning. And, yep.
What's the current percentage?
48%
wow.
said F.
48% of you said F.
Yeah.
F. Okay.
They did the same thing. I think either F or C won on Peter Rabbit 2, and that was another one where I did go into it with low expectations, but was surprised I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely giving it a higher grade. Stick around for that.
Oh, yeah. Stick around for the grades, because kind of like the first one, the movie is a lot more bizarre than the trailers let on. And there is some clever stuff going on in it. Like, I do like how it's taking place in the future, and the two characters who were kids in the first movie are now adults.
Yeah.
And there's a theme going on with the dad in this one. He's kind of coming to grips with the fact that he's getting older. He doesn't have the best relationship with his brother. Not that they're like estranged, they're just not that close and they don't see each other all that much. But also his daughter's kind of growing up too, and is more interested in studying and is often annoyed by her dad. Right. She's just trying to study and he's spilling fake volcano stuff all over her books and everything. And then when the baby, because they have 2 kids, and then when the baby starts talking like Alec Baldwin did in the first one, and then the wizard clock is talking to him too, I'm watching it going like, is this kind of like the first one where this is just this guy going through this midlife crisis and is kind of his own subconscious is sort of talking to him through this clock and this baby. So again, it's making my mind go in these weird places like the first one did.
Is he hallucinating?
Yeah, but it kind of drops that pretty quickly, sort of like the first one did.
Yeah.
But the plot of the movie that has them turning into kids again in order to infiltrate this school for babies run by Jeff Goldblum as a robot baby this school is weird because it's like this dystopian future prison.
It really is.
It looks like something out of like Clonus horror.
They give you a color code that is supposed to signify like where you belong in the school.
It's like Logan's Run, but babies. It's crazy. And like he's using these babies to teach them to be smart and to code to make this app that's going to turn the parents into zombies, basically. And there's weird things going on here where they get put in timeout, and it's like this psychological torture.
Yes!
Where they're
God!
This room that's surrounded by a hologram of a beach where it's playing Enya.
So here's the thing, too. I just want to get a little too real for just a second.
Yeah.
There were a couple of jokes in here that had real implications on our current education system. One of which was these timeout rooms. There are schools that are actually doing not quite to that extreme.
Like it's a future prison?
Kinda, yeah. Not quite to that extreme. You know, Chicago Public Schools, by the way, has a few instances where they're putting kids in these timeout rooms. And it's so there's that. And then, of course, we fast forward toward the end where there's an implication about, like, the fire system not working because
a budget cuts. Because he spent so much money making this Zardoz, like, school that he has that he ran out of money to make a sprinkler system. And then it gets kind of creepy in a couple of parts where a climax hinges on this pageant that's going on because it's a Christmas movie. Yeah. What is going on here? Last week we had Batman Long Halloween that had a Christmas segment in it. This is straight up a Christmas movie. Right. What month are we in? It is Christmas in July. So this pageant is going on with the daughter where she's nervous. At first she doesn't have a good voice. Then she's taught and she does. She finally has the nerve to get up there and sing in front of everybody, but everyone's been turned into zombies while they're singing. And then this shot that it shows of the audience where they're all in shadows and their faces are dark. It was kind of horrific.
Yeah. And nobody applauds, so, so this poor girl is just like distraught.
You can tell from the way that the action is directed in this, the way the backgrounds are, and the surreal moments in this movie that... And I kind of remember thinking this about the first one, too, where you can tell, like, the people who made this, like, love those old weird cartoons. Like, some weird, like, there's a dream sequence in this that's like a 3D Tex Avery cartoon. Like, it gets surreal in multiple parts of this movie.
There's so many He-Man references.
Yeah.
He-Man toys everywhere, and it's just like, yes!
Yeah. I was just in awe of even the backgrounds of this movie. The way they designed this school. The way they designed these weird purple rectum-looking hallways. And even the town itself. There's this action sequence involving a horse dragging him by a sled. Yeah. And it's one of those where you could watch this sequence multiple times and probably pick up on new things that you're seeing in the background. Yeah. There's some really good, quick gags that go in the movie. Yeah. And because it is very ambitious and there's a lot of ideas in this movie, and that does make the really heartfelt moments in the movie pretty genuine. Yeah. Like they do earn those parts in it, especially the ending with the brothers and the family.
Like I said, it doesn't feel like pandering at all. They're not trying too hard to really make make you feel this connection.
And you would think it would be with a couple of movies called Boss Baby.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like this pandering, cynical, Norm of the North kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or Rock Dog 2 that we watched earlier.
Yeah.
And then neither movie are.
Yeah,
like,
no.
They're better than their reputation is, really. And I get that the trailers for these aren't appealing based on the title. And you instantly kind of picture a bad movie in your head when you're shown clips of these. But both movies I like, and I did like this one. You missed a weird part when you went out to get popcorn.
Oh, really?
It's when the transformation happens with the two brothers, where they're adults and then they drink this tonic that turns them into babies again. And there's this body horror type thing going on where they don't instantly turn into babies. They start, at one point they're like in their 20s and then teenager, and they're fighting each other when this happens. And one of them accidentally hits the record player, and it starts playing the Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where they then start having this like nipple twist fight with each other. It was crazy. I was constantly fascinated by this movie. I was appreciating how weird this is, and it's going for it. Especially that Jeff Goldblum character.
I know. When they got to the part where he revealed that he was teaching these babies to code and make the apps, I totally made an apartments.com reference, because it was just so similar. Like there's even an apartments.com commercial where he's sitting there talking to the camera in front of a bunch of people typing on computers and stuff, and it was like, wow.
He did. And I want to talk about this app for a second, because the plot is hinged on parents are going to use this app to take pictures at this pageant. It's going to turn them into zombies, and then this is going to go worldwide and start happening. What the app, I'm like, you don't really have to turn them into zombies to get rid of them, because what this app is like, you're taking pictures of these kids in this pageant, and it's like this swipe left, swipe right thing. I'm like, okay, whoever has that in real life should be in jail. You don't need to do this zombie plot. Let's just put them on a list if you're downloading this.
This isn't Tinder. Oh my God.
Yeah. I know a lot of people watching want us to rag on this. I know, and I get it. And I know many of you probably aren't going to go see this.
You should, though.
I hope you give it a chance. If you like the first one, I think you'd still like this one. If you didn't like the first one at all, then I don't know, you probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Honestly, like, even if you I want to see the first one now. I mean, especially if you say that it was if it was just as good as this one,
I probably liked it a little better than this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because this one, I did really enjoy this movie. I thought it was a little too long. It was maybe about 50. Like, the climax goes on for a bit.
Runtime was 104 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, hour 45 minutes, it could have gotten by, I think. Because I was starting to feel the length of some of these acts.
Oh, really?
And thought, well, maybe you could shave about 5 minutes here and there. Like, not whole scenes necessarily.
Right.
Just maybe some, minor trimming. And there's parts where it's pretty hyper. But...
Oh, God.
But not in a...
Jeff Goldblum's character is literally eating sugar.
I was just gonna say that, because when the girl baby is doing her boss thing, I'm like, it's not annoying me, but in the wrong hands it would, because it's very hyper. And I've seen movies like these kids movies where I'm like, this is way too freaking sugar-induced madness going on, like that second Lego movie, and when we went to go see that My Little Pony movie.
God,
oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a very hyper movie, but there's certainly a lot of ideas in it, and they do stick to a plot that's going on through it. And it was hard for me to get upset about that too much, because, again, like you pointed out, there is a character who is literally just sitting there eating sugar. So I couldn't get too mad. I'm like, it seems aware of this. What grade are you giving this?
B plus. Yeah.
I'm right around the B plus area. I think if it had... It does have some good laughs in it.
Yeah.
I think if it had more laughs, I'd bump it up to a B plus. But damn, the animation is really good in this movie.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining. And also, like I said, it might be about 10 minutes too long. So I'm going with a B, but it's a really positive B.
Yeah.
Hopefully you go see this and you're surprised by it, because I was like I was with the first one.
Dude, that poll, I think 5% said B.
Yeah.
5%.
And I noticed that like I looked at that earlier and I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna fall in the B category. B came in last.
Wow.
A got more than B. A got 6%. And yeah, 48% F. There's no way I'm giving
you guys.
I would. What did I give Rock Dog 2? A D? I'm not gonna give. If I give that a D, I'm not gonna give this an F. Even if I didn't think this was funny at all, I wouldn't give it an F just because the animation is really good in the movie. And. Well, given that what we watched right before it was Rock Dog 2, maybe I should give this an A. But no,
this movie didn't change my life or anything, but it was definitely fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, by the time we get back out here, it'll be dark out and the purge will be going on. So we'll see you then.